Welcome once again to the Telleion tutorial series. In this session, we're going to introduce to you the amazing enhancements that we've made to the Telleion product. Some of which are in the finance modules that we had previously. A lot of integration work has gone in. So let's get started to see what we've got for you. So I'm going to log in with an account. Okay. So with this account, I'm going to access the fees module from the accounting menu, and then the fees and bills. Now what we have here is that the fee preparation and fee collection is being integrated into the general ledger, which allows you to prepare your accounts for any period of time that you need. So let's look at a typical payment that we may have. So for example, let me take Jacqueline. Okay, she has already made some payment. I want one that hasn't got any payment. Okay, so I'm going to take a payment from Samuel Asante. So I select the take account, and he's paying, let's say, 25 cedis, 50 pesos. And I record that it's a payment as cash one. The transaction is completed. And the one who is making the payment is Mr. Santi, the father. This is the first installment. So I process the payment and then save the overall transaction. Let me take another person, for example, Mark Foster. Okay, so he is also making a payment of 50 cedis. Or let's make it 45 cedis, 59 pesos. That is also a payment as a via mobile. And the one making the payment is Mr. Foster, and that is the grandfather. This is also recognized as the first payment, as the first installment. Okay. So I save that and then save the overall transaction. Now, if I go back to check the transactions that we've recorded in the general ledger, we can see here that this memo here describes what we've taken. So this is a payment of 50 cedis, which is just okay, sorry, that is that. So the payment of 50, 45, 59 is being taken from Foster Mark. So you can see here that there is a two-way transaction. A two-way transaction for the bank account, which is an asset, and then the tuition fees revenue account. So once you register your payment, the transaction is registered also in the general accounting ledger. We will use this later to prepare our balance sheet and trial balance as well. Okay. Now, in addition, there are other times that you may have to do, for example, manual entries, which are not specifically related to fees. So we can do or record our manual transactions through the manual entries module here. So if I select that, now you see that this page is empty. It means that we have not recorded any transactions for today. Now, in account preparation, there are 5 key main accounts that are involved. We have the assets account, the expenses, the revenues, liabilities, and equity. these 5 accounts are the key account types that we work with. But there are also other account types that are affected when any of these account types, are involved in a transaction. So, for example, when a school receives cash due to like tuition fees, payment, donations, you have the main account that is affected is your bank account, or the cash if you receive the money in cash. So you realize that your cash flow increases. So to increase your cash flow, you debit that account, okay, and then you credit the revenue or the asset account, that which explains why the cash was received. So let's take a few examples. So I select the new entry button, and here I'm going to say that received payment. Okay, let's say from students. Okay, and the date is 11th. I've received, let's say 2,599 pesos. So because it's monetary transaction, like we are receiving fees from the students, we are going to increase our cash. So we're going to debit the cash account because we received it in the cash form, and then the next account that will be affected is the tuition fee revenue. Okay, and the currency is Ghana cedis. So we save this account. So once you save the account, you realize that this account, this transaction is saved in the active manual entry. So every day, any collections or any transactions that you make, once recorded, will be on this active manual entries for the day. So you can check how much you've taken and the accounts that are affected. Okay, let's look at another transaction. For example, say you had some old desk or furniture and the school decided to sell the furniture. Okay, now once the furniture is sold, you're going to receive some monetary reward which will go to increase your bank account. Yeah, but then the relevant account that is affected is your equipment, okay, which is going to decrease. So we're going to have that transaction as let's say sale of let's take it as sale of old furniture. Okay, and the date is today. We realize, let's say 250 cedis. So because we've gotten money, it's going to increase. Let's assume that the money was paid through the bank. So our bank account is going to be affected, and the other account that is going to be affected, we're going to decrease our level of gains in terms of the equipment that we have. So let's see if we have an equipment. Okay, this will be educational supplies. Let's see the best account we can place it in. So okay, so that will be classroom equipment that we sold. Okay, so we save that. So each day you keep recording these transactions, and the more frequent you do it, the more value you put into the report that you're going to generate. So I'm going to initiate another transaction also. Okay, so let's do the payment of teacher salary. So payment of teachers salaries. Okay, so let's say we paid 10,200. So because money is going out, okay, we're going to debit the salaries expense. Okay, so salaries and wages, okay, account, and then we're going to credit our bank account because the money in our bank account is going to reduce. Okay, so because we are paying the teachers through the bank. Okay, now let's carry out also another transaction, for example, which is an expense. So let's say payment of electricity bill, okay, which was made today. Let's put it like 1,500. So this transaction affects the utility bill account. Okay, so we're going to debit utilities expense, and then because cash or our bank, the money that we have in our bank is going to reduce, we credit the bank account. Okay, and then we save that. Okay, another transaction that we can take, for example, is let's do a purchase of stationery for cash. Okay, so all these transactions have been done today. So let's say 1,500, and because this is an expense on stationery, let's see if you have stationery. Okay, so the closest is the educational supplies. Okay, and then our bank account is going to reduce, so we credit the bank account, and the currency is Ghana cedis. Okay, so once we've done all our manual transactions, we can look at the general ledger, and we see that all the transactions have been recorded here. So manual entries, it tells you where the transaction is coming from, the source, and it gives you the memo in the form of notes. Okay, so you can see that the description of the transaction is is recorded here. The account that it affects is also recorded here. Okay, so what do we do with this? Once we are done, we can print or look at the trial balance. So let's say that we want to see all our transactions for today. So we do a filter on after, let's say today. So all these are all the transactions that we've had. Okay, both debit and credit balances. So let's view our trial balance. Okay, so we have our trial balance displayed here, and we can see that we have a bank account which was affected by 250 cedis. On the left hand side, we see a total of 15,951, and the credit balances is also 15,000. So both sides should balance. Okay, your debits should be the same as your credit, and this account names show you which accounts have been affected. So you can see we recorded classroom equipment, educational supplies, salaries and wages for 10,200, utility expense for 1,500, and so on. So this is how beautiful you can have your trial balance, prepared, and you see at the bottom that you have a note also there, right? Okay, so these are some of the new additions that we've added for you to make life easy. If you want to print the whole account, you can see it spans from 16th January to 11th of June today. All the transactions that we've had, and if there's any issue, it will be highlighted. All right. So that is all for now. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact us on our website, inceptortechnologies.com. Thank you very much, and goodbye for now.